We are truly committed on the community side, and then absolutely on the wildlife side. We are hugely working very, very hard with rhinos. Rhinos have become something that people are talking about now, but 4 years ago, they were not. And we were the first company that absolutely brought the plight of the rhinos to the forefront. A very simple thing that we do, I think, but it's super important, is most people don't realize that when they go on safari and they see all the animals, the first thing they do is they pull out their iPads and their iPhones and so on, and they start taking pictures. And everybody doesn't realize, or most people don't realize, that every time you take an image on a device like that, it automatically geotags the image. They were then going back to the lodge and they're posting it to social media, to Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And the poachers have very sophisticated programs, and they were able to find the images and see the geo-tracking, the coordinates of where that rhino was, and they can see the time that it was taken 2 or 3 hours ago. And rhinos are not very, they don't move very far or very fast unless they're angry. But basically, they hang out in the same area for hours and hours on end. So they would wait for cover of darkness. They helicopter, and it's how much money they make out of this, rope down, shoot the rhino, cut off the horn, and leave the rhino to die. They don't even kill the rhino. They leave it to die, which is just terrible. And bad enough they do it in the first place. So what we started was with a project that any client we have, in your final documents, we send out a card and it shows you how to disengage the geo-tracking on a multitude of devices. And then our rangers and guides all talk about it as well. So it was just a small thing that didn't really cost anybody anything, to try and save, this one form, to try and cut the poachers off at the pass, as it were, and not give them access to that information. So we've been doing things like that. We're great supporters of places like Shamwari, who have incredible rhino programs. Jabulani, whose elephant orphanage and elephant program is just amazing, absolutely fantastic. So we're always looking and asking for donations to these places. So our commitment to the animals is great. And then super quickly and lastly, but to the planet as well. So at our company, at African Travel and at Travel Corporation in general, we have banned all single-use plastics. So when you go on any of our trips, you will get nothing that is a single-use plastic handed to you. Everything is in our offices. There are no straws, nothing within the Travel Corporation that is a single-use plastic is allowed. So that's going on, plus many other initiatives and so on. And we are actually, Travel Corporation, interesting enough, is actually global. So we're 42 brands globally. So this is not just Africa. We're doing this all across the planet, everywhere on the planet. And our ambassador is Celine Cousteau. It's great you have to have a name behind something to get it out there. And she sure is it. And she does an amazing job with it. It's fantastic. So Tread Right Foundation is our not-for-profit organization within the Travel Corporation. So it does service many brands, but particularly us at African Travel, because of Africa and the wildlife and conservation and so on. We play a very big part with them. Our ethos at African Travel is that it is our responsibility to leave this planet in better condition than that which we found it. We work very, very, very hard with many initiatives where we are working not only with conservation of the wild animals, which is really probably our number one and biggest, but we're also looking after the planet itself. And every bit as importantly are the communities. So every time you book a trip with us, or your client books a trip with us, part of what they're booking is going towards some community project, some wildlife conservation project, and so on. So, for example, in East Africa, we're putting a lot of girls through school. We have quite a large number that we've now done. We started that project about a year ago, and that's been working very well. Anytime that we do any amenities on trip, all of those things must come from locally made, sourced. And so we go to a village, we love to help women's self-help groups where they're doing beading and so on. And particularly when they bring it together as a co-op, so the woman can work from home and they bead and they make this incredible, whether it be beaded animals or placemats or whatever it is that they do. They can do it at home. So the children don't have to be left motherless during the day. And then the stuff all gets sent to the one person that looks after it all, and they take care of the selling of it, and then the proceeds are all put out amongst the people who did all the production. So we're very big into all that. And whether it be, I told you earlier about Rwanda, Rwanda has an amazing women's cooperative that do tea and coffee. So we do a lot of that. We're big on orphanages for children. We do a lot of that in all over. There's the Me to We organization. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They have 7 projects worldwide. One of them is in East Africa. And what they did was they started building a school for a village at a kindergarten level. And while those children went through a couple of years of kindergarten, they then were building the next level, the elementary school. And then they were building the junior high. And then they were building the high school. And just last year, we completed the university. So those children who started in kindergarten are now in university in their region. They don't have to go to Nairobi. They don't have to go to the city that takes them 3 days to get there on 6 buses and so on. They can do, and they can be educated there. And they've got full educational programs, and we're building a clinic and so on, and doctors are coming out of it. So that, it's wonderful to work with them. And the clients can actually go and immerse themselves for 2 or 3 days at the Me to We village. And stay in the village, and it's still very comfortable, and the food's great. But they can actually go and they can help dig wells and build houses and do all sorts of fun things that are going on.